be there as a condition to make the tawaf, then he said, make the wudu, make the tawaf. If you lose it and you can't get out, and the situation is too intense and there's no place to wash and the likes, then he said that being in a state of purity is not essential, and this was the view he favored. Based on that, the one who breaks his wudu during tawaf does not have to go out to do the wudu, and Allah knows best. Obviously, it is safer and better to be in a state of wudu, and it's definitely the thing that is way more mustahab of a position to take. But it's just for our saying, and some of the ulama have said, because of the crowds and seeing the condition, especially if you have one of those problems with incontinence or gas and the likes, then you have that position of Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahullah, may Allah have mercy on him. Covering the awrah, condition for making tawaf. Tawaf inside the haram. This is a condition for making the tawaf. You know the Kaaba, when you see it, the black cubic structure, you see that rounded half wall. A lot of people, they going around the Kaaba, they'll cut in between that wall and they'll pray inside that. Many people call it Hijr Ismail. Okay, it is not Hijr Ismail. There's nothing we have that says that you can name that name. That names it that name. It's just Al-Hijr. It is just this short pony wall. It's actually part of the Kaaba, which is why you see some people praying inside of it. It wasn't included in the Kaaba structure, but it is considered part of it, which is why some people want to get in there to pray. You have to make tawaf though around it. You cannot cut through it. And then the ashwat, or the 7 rounds, you must do 7 rounds, starting at the black stone and ending at the black stone, continuous without interruption. You see some people making tawaf, the adhan and the iqamah come, they stop. According to the ulama, you stop when that iqamah hits, you pray, and right when it's done, you continue where you left off, and Allah knows best. Some of the scholars took the position, you do that round over, but it seems like it is sufficient to start where you took off. These are just some of the things during it, between Rukn al-Yamani and Al-Hajar al-Aswad, the corner of the Yemeni corner and where the black stone is. The Prophet ﷺ used to say, رَبَّنَا آتَنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. He used to repeat this throughout that time, and it's something we should try to repeat. Touching the black stone is not compulsory. Don't do it. Many times you'll lose your Hajj because you will end up insulting someone, or you will get so stressed out trying to do it, you'll get hurt and the likes. I think I'm getting my 5. Okay, it looks like a 0. Or a 10.
I don't have a problem if they are there.
Inshallah, khair, inshallah. It just shows you the intensity of this farida, this pillar that we have to do. And you want to come back the day born to your mother, you want to have the Hajj Mabrur, so you have Jannah, you have to know your Hajj rights. Okay, so you do those things. You can touch Rukn al-Yamani, you can touch it, but that's all you do. You don't touch it and then kiss it and lay on it and sajda on it like some people do. Hajar al-Aswad, of course, you have those things if you can reach it safely. You touch it, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. You can kiss it, you can make sajda on it if it's even allowable now with the way it is, because these are all things the Prophet ﷺ did. But we're reminded of what Umar said, radiallahu anhu. Had I not seen the Prophet ﷺ doing this to you, I would not do it to you. This was his statement. And you see people pushing, shoving on a woman's back, a brother, just to get to it. So just be mindful of these things. The sa'i between Safa and Marwa, what our mother Hajar alayhi salam, what she did, looking for water for Ismail until she saw Angel Jibreel with his wing or his heel hitting the ground and making the water of Zamzam coming up, as Imam Ahmad mentioned. That going back, Safa to Marwa 1, Marwa to Safa 2, Safa to Marwa 3, and so on. Not 7 whole rounds. In there is a period where the men can do a run between the 2 green lights, and he should do that in that time. يوم عرفة الوقف في عرفة الوقوف بعرفة. This is من أركان الحج, from the pillars of Hajj, that you're in Arafah. You go to Arafah on the 9th after sunrise. You try and get there. There's some other things you can do along the way. The Mufti usually gives a khutbah in the masjid right outside of it. But the best thing is your presence to be there between Dhuhr and Maghrib. making dua, making istighfar. And as we see what the Prophet ﷺ said, the best of what I came with and the Anbiya. So you have proof that they made Hajj. The best dua to make on the day of Arafah is La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu lahul mulk wa lahul hamd wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. So let's prepare for Wednesday to have our tongues wet with this dua. Al-Hajj Arafah. Hajj is Arafah. You must be there at some point between Dhuhr and Maghrib in order for it to be accepted from you. The Hujjaj do not fast that day. Us who are not there, يكفر سنتين ماضية ومستقبلة. It expiates 2 years of sin, the past year and the upcoming year. This is for the minor sins and those that are not intentional. Someone does this and says, well, my next year of sins is forgiven, and he runs wild on the earth. This doesn't count, inshallah. So be mindful of this for those who are not on Hajj. We mentioned those, you go to Muzdalifah, you sleep there. We mentioned the women and the old can go and leave for Mina. Shaykh al-Albani rahimahullah, he was of the position, even if the weak and the old and the women go and leave after midnight, that they do not go and stone the Jamrat al-Aqaba until after sunrise. Whereas some of the other scholars permitted it. His position is the safest position, and inshallah you would take from that. Take your stones from Mina. It's better to shave your head. The Prophet ﷺ, he made dua. May Allah have mercy on the one who shaves his head 3 times. And he kept saying, what about the one who cuts his hair? Just trims it. May Allah have mercy on the one who shaves his head 2nd time. What about the one who cuts his hair? May Allah have mercy on the one who shaves his head the third time. What about the one who cuts his hair? May Allah have mercy on the one who shaves his head and the one who cuts his hair. So be prepared to let your nice hair go, inshallah. Sisters, you would gather your hair and take the fingertip length. There's nothing proven exactly in the sunnah, but what most of the scholars say is the tip of the finger to the first joint, that first part that bends, that you gather your hair. Some of the sisters say, well, my hair is layered. Well, grab each layer and cut that amount off, inshallah, because it should be from the whole head. The days in Mina, sleeping there, stoning the Jamarat after Dhuhr time, 7 stones each one. You go right before you leave Mecca, even if you're going to go to Jeddah to visit some family or whatever, don't do that mistake. Whenever you leave Mecca, you have to make Tawaf al-Wada. The only one who's excused from this is the woman who's on her menstrual cycle. She's the only one excused from Tawaf al-Wada. And Allah al-Musta'an. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.
I know.
وإياك.